Hey guys, my name is Chris if you didn't already know, and welcome to my show, SmegChris Review. Not review, review. So what I do on this show is that I look back at an episode of SmegChris Review to see what film I reviewed, what news I talked about, what trailers I looked at, or whatever else I said. But before I started doing it on SmegChris Review, I actually did it on SmegChris in the early days, so I'm going to look back at a past episode of that to see what I said there. And like usual, I'm going to watch the episode on the TV through the power of DVD. The episode I'm going to look back on is called The Running Clone, and honestly I have no idea what I said on there, so let's find out. Some exciting news for us Smallville fans. Michael Rosenbaum is returning as Lex Luthor for the final ever episode. I so can't wait to see what they do. Okay, that last episode of Smallville was absolutely amazing. The only thing I didn't like was Michael Rosenbaum did return, but he used to shave his head when he was on Smallville as Lex Luthor. For the last episode you could tell quite clearly it was a bald cap because his head was a little bit more egg-shaped. But I do have the entire collection of Smallville over there in my collection. I just can't be bothered to bring it all over here. Be a bit heavy as well. I'm feeling lazy today. Anyway, yeah, it was a good return. I enjoyed the fact that it was back. And I'm just realising this chair's creaking. Wonderful, I'll try to sit still. Anyway, let's see what else I said. I went to see a film this week that I would never normally watch, True Grit. And guess what? I really enjoyed it. I never saw the original, so I can't really compare. Whether you're into westerns or not, this may still actually entertain you with its mixture of drama, intrigue, and light comedy. I have great acting skills, don't I? I'd forgotten I'd done that. As for the film itself, I have not seen it since then. Honestly, I don't have it in my collection. It's not that I don't like it, I did enjoy it. It's just, I'm not much of a western fan. Yeah, even to this day I still haven't seen the original. I doubt I ever will, but you never know, there might be that off chance that I'll see it at some point and think, well, I might as well watch it. But anyway, let's see what else I said, if there's anything else. A picture was released this week. Yes, it's the new Spider-Man. I'm not too sure about that costume myself. The film is now officially called The Amazing Spider-Man. But we'll see whether or not it'll be any good. So as we saw there, I was actually talking about The Amazing Spider-Man, but I did review that, so I'll talk about that on a later episode of Review. I now need to go change the DVD because the next thing I'm watching is SmegChris Review episode 5, where I reviewed The Adventures of Tintin and a certain other film, Ghostbusters. So yeah, let me go change the DVD. Well, that took me a while to find that episode. It's right on the end of the DVD. Anyway, let's see what I said. Production of the new Batman film is underway and some pictures have been published. This is the new Batwing. Yes, Batwing! Of course, it doesn't look like any of the Batwings that we've seen before, but it does look like the Batmobile from the last two movies. Can't wait to see how it looks on the big screen. I'm certain that crane won't be there, unless they forget to paint it out. Okay, so I'm assuming that was The Dark Knight Rises, which is in my collection up here. But again, I don't need to talk about it here because I did review it, so in a later episode of Review I will talk about it there. Alright, let's see what else I said. I recently saw two films, and one was Ghostbusters, which, as you know, is a classic. They were showing it for a few weeks only, but we did notice a few things about it. Yes, for once, I didn't go see a film alone. Such as the film rating has gone from PG to 12A. I think it might be something to do with the previously edited scene where Ray dreams about the ghost. That wasn't there before. I'm quite certain of it. Possibly. And we believe that there's some new score music added to it. Well, that could be just us. However, it's still an awesome film. I wondered why I was talking about Ghostbusters, because it's a 1984 film. I wasn't doing these videos back then. And as for it being a 12A, let me just show you something, because I have it in my collection over here. Ghostbusters on DVD. PG. Hello. However, I did mention that there is a scene where Ray's dreaming. I don't actually know if it's in this film or it's just a deleted scene on it. It's been a while since I've watched, so... But it's still one of my favourite films. I love the Ghostbusters franchise. Yeah, I have fond memories of it. I was 9 when this came out. I know, I'm old. Let me put this back now. Right, let's see what I said about The Adventures of Tintin. I also went to see The Adventures of Tintin, The Secret of the Unicorn, and I remember saying in Steven Spielberg's hands, this could be an awesome film. And guess what? It is. The animation in this film is the best I have ever seen, and with it being animated, Spielberg could go nuts with his camera angles, which he did. The voice acting was absolutely superb, and I was very impressed with Daniel Craig's evil Sakharine most of all. He makes a great bad guy. It has been announced that this is the first of a trilogy, so we have 2 more we can look forward to. I give this movie a... and I totally recommend it. Okay, so it's been a while since I've seen the film. I still enjoy it, and I do know now why the animation was so good, because it was motion capture technology. You know, they actually had the actors with these mocap suits on, and that's where the animation was built around. So yeah, that still is good. And I do have it in my collection. In fact, let me just find it. Right here. I'm just realising Stephen Moffat did the screenplay. What? Oh, it's alright, it was in good hands. Edgar Wright had hold of it as well. Yeah, since Stephen Moffat kind of ruined Doctor Who for a while, I've kind of gone off of him. Anyway, I digress. I just want to know, because I said there that there's another 2 planned. Where are they? Where? I don't see them anywhere. They're not inside the case or anything. Where are they? I have no idea why there's no sequels. Did you just not got around to doing them, or did it not do as well as I thought it did? I'm pretty sure it was successful, so I don't understand why there were no sequels. I wonder if I can find out. Hold on. So I found an article here saying the filmmaker's other projects derailed a planned Tintin sequel. Despite the critical and box office success of The Adventures of Tintin, a planned sequel never materialised. I can say it. The film ended on a clear tease of future storylines, with Peter Jackson set to helm the next entry in the series. Development of the sequel reportedly started in 2012, with a projected release date of between 2014 and 2015. Despite the excitement of the directors and the stars, the project was repeatedly pushed back. Spielberg has always insisted that Jackson direct the next Tintin movie, but that filmmaker's busy schedule may have impacted his ability to helm it. What? So there's not actually any real explanation other than that they're too busy to do it. So with it being an animation, none of the characters are getting older, so they can do it at some point. Let's keep fingers crossed, yeah? As for giving it the rating of 9 out of 10, I probably wouldn't do that these days. I'd probably give it maybe 8, possibly a 7. I'm not saying it's a bad film, I still enjoy it. It's just I haven't watched it in a while. So who knows, when I get around to watching it again, I may still think it's a 9 out of 10, I don't know. But nevertheless, it's still a great film. Alright, let's see if there's anything else I've said on this episode. After 10 years, Smallville has finally come to an end, which makes me both sad and happy. I'm sad because it's one of my favourite shows ever. I felt with each season it was better than the last. Also, I said happy because for 10 years we've been waiting for Clark to put on that costume and fly. The moment he was thrown through the barn by Darkseid and suddenly stopped in midair had me jumping up and down in my seat. What do you expect? I'm a self-confessed geek. Yes, you don't see much of the costume, but I was very happy with the outcome. You see the S on his chest right at the end, which was their intention. And I love that episode so much, I watched it again the next day. And me being a geek, I still have it on my TV recorder. I am so going to miss this show, but at least it'll live on as one of the best. After all, it did last 10 years, and it was finished by the producers rather than it getting cancelled, like Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. 14 years later, and I'm still mad about that. How ironic is that? I was talking about Smallville, and earlier on I was talking about Smallville. But I still stand by that. Great show, one of the best, and like I say, it's still in my collection. However, I don't still have that last episode on my TV recorder because I don't need to. It's in my collection. And as a matter of fact, I still love the way it ended. I was very satisfied with that. Funnily enough, this show actually did carry on in comic book form. I got all of those. But I don't need to keep going on about it, I already did earlier in this video. And it looks like that's all I said there, so it's now time to end this video. And with that being said, all that's left for me to say now is thank you for watching and subscribing if you have, and liking this video if you did. Until the next time, peace out. One of the things I've thought about doing prior to filming one of these videos is actually watching the films that I'm talking about. And maybe at a later date I will do that, because currently when I'm watching the SmegChris episodes back, I don't know anything of what I've said at all. But with SmegChris Review, I do know, because it's bracketed usually, saying the title of the film that I watched. So maybe I should start doing that, possibly, and then I can sort of refresh my mind of what it is I'm talking about. Or I could just recall from memory, you know, my old man memory, which is so reliable. Of course, that will only work with films that I actually have in my collection. The ones that I don't, I'll have to rely on the memory. Oh boy.